One of the saddest tragedies in sort of woke property history, to me at least, is the Star Trek franchise. They really ruined this property beyond any other with Star Trek Discovery, and then, of course, the following Picard. It's just been a travesty after travesty after travesty, and I could just name all of them vividly where they went wrong, where they decided to lecture their audience on identity politics rather than actually just making something good. Well, it's transcended into comics now, and that's the case because Heather Antos has taken over the line. And if you guys aren't familiar with Heather Antos, she is an editor who came up in Marvel Star Wars. And back in like 2017, she posted this photo called The Milkshake Crew with a bunch of women at Marvel Comics. And with that photo, she just started ranting about feminism, claiming that people were online harassing me, and kind of failed her way up in the industry until she got to this point. So, of course, now she's bringing in her friends to write Star Trek who really don't understand the property. We've seen continuity errors badly already. And today's is maybe the cringiest thing I've seen in a long time. We're going to get to that in just a second. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is John Delarose. I'm a #1 best-selling author and award-winning comic creator. This is my Flying Sparks Ultra Light Beams. This is going to be going live on Kickstarter in just a couple of weeks. It is a beautiful story about a superheroine and her villain boyfriend. Both of them, it's got two protagonists. They go back and forth. It's really wonderfully done, if I do say so myself. And this is the final volume. We've been going about 15 issues with this, and that's an accomplishment in indie comics that hasn't been done really anywhere. It's something very special that we've got here. So check this out. Go click that notify me on launch on the Kickstarter page. The link is in the description below. I really appreciate you guys supporting the channel. We have tons of books and all sorts of different things. If you guys want Star Trek alternatives, I can go down that rabbit hole too. But we're trying to create fun here and create a different culture to change the culture. We have a new age in mind. It's called the Iron Age, where we're going to be working harder than all of these people in Hollywood and elsewhere, and we're just going to create better products than them as we watch their decline and laugh at it. So let's go. Here's the article of the day. It is new Star Trek comic disgusts readers with a Vulcan lecturing the crew on gender pronouns. Now, again, I'm going to toot my own horn a little bit here because I know a lot of these YouTube channels read Bounding into Comics articles, and that's where this is on. But I actually write the Bounding into Comics articles a lot of the time. I love watching it. I love when like the quartering's pulling up my articles. I'm like, yes, it means I win. It's good stuff. I appreciate all the YouTubers who do so. It keeps me in business, definitely. And I appreciate Bounding for letting me write what I want to write. It's good stuff. But we do the real journalism here, my friends. It's a wonderful place. So I talk about how Star Trek's just been terrible with Discovery and all that. Gosh, I remember that. I still haven't like caught up on it. I'm a huge Star Trek fan, guys. That's like my jam is Star Trek more than anything. But I still haven't caught up on Discovery. I can't get through it. It's like between just like the constant, really, really flamboyantly gay stuff and the like the like pronoun crap that they got going on in it. It's really tough. I used to read the novel verse, and Star Trek had a novel verse like like Star Wars. This guy David Mack, though, he was kind of one of the architects of their novel verse for a long time, and he actually canceled on a convention because he wanted to lecture them about being in Tennessee because Tennessee wasn't requiring vaccines everywhere, and you know how the COVID vaccine thing went. But, you know, I don't know how much we're allowed to talk about that on YouTube. I just thought I'd remind people what this guy did. And he ruined a convention just because he wanted to virtue signal about vaccines and masks. Amazing. But that's him. And it's gone further. So here's our current Star Trek. They just call it Star Trek. There's no like moniker to it. And so they just like, they combine random characters through the different series. And I guess it takes place kind of before Picard as it goes. And I guess Captain Sisko is coming back. And if you watch the end of Deep Space Nine, he kind of went and ascended into the wormhole and became one of the wormhole alien god people of Bajor or whatever. And now he comes back. And I guess there's a thing going out there killing those prophets, which is not a bad storyline concept by itself. This is done by Kelly and Lansing. They're a writer duo who is mostly known for like their Batman Beyond comics that they do. And they do some other stuff too, of course. But this is where it gets really cringy. So we're in the middle of this whole scene, and we got Dr. Beverly Crusher. I was just on my way to medbay. I'm sure, and here's the deal. She's talking to Cisco, and he goes back to the bridge after this. And here we go. The Vulcan guy goes, "If I might, sir, I do have a query." If I might, okay. And then the Andorian girl says, don't. And he says, I apologize for secondhand embarrassment, Lily, but logic dictates I act in the best interest of the Theseus and their crew. That's the ship they're looking for, I guess. So he says their crew. The ship is a they, them, right? And so this is where it gets kind of weird. And here it is. Yep, their crew. So he starts to lecture them on pronouns. And here it is. Whoops. Little fast on the uptake there. So the Andorian girl goes, her crew, ships are girls, which is traditionally always the case. So he goes, the gender binary is illogical, and we both know it. So I guess like in 24th century, whatever, Vulcans now are acting like teenage girls in high school, throwing fits about pronouns. And that's logic, right? It's so cringy. It's awful. This is terrible writing on every level, and this should have been edited out immediately. And then these people should have been like, Heather should have been like, guys, this doesn't make any sense. This is like 500 years from now, 400 years from now, whatever it is. And the Vulcans wouldn't talk like this. This is a scientist who's talking like a teenage girl flipping out about gender pronouns. Not only that, but it really doesn't make sense on any level, because if you want to go with the logic of the situation, calling a metallic inanimate object a personal pronoun at all, like they, them, their, would make just as little sense as calling it girls, which is just a historically, traditional thing that a ship is female. But you'd call it it. You would say its crew, not their crew. It's not a plural of ships. It's not a non-binary ship. It is just a hunk of metal. That is like grammatically. I'm a writer, right? This drives me crazy. Grammatically, that's how it would make sense. If you really want to argue this point, which why would you spend your time arguing? You've been in the Starfleet for how long? I mean, everybody calls it this. This is how it's been done for fleets for centuries. Like, you're gonna like lecture some ensign girl about this in the middle. Oh gosh, I'm getting heated about this stupid comic. But it doesn't make sense. It would be it if it's anything. But she is fine, Mr. Dumb Vulcan. It's not logical. You're illogical, and you're a bitch. And that's what it comes down to. So, so cringy. This is what Star Trek is these days, and this is what every property is these days. Everything is a lecture at you about how you're supposed to conduct yourself, what words you're allowed to say, how you're allowed to think, who you're allowed to be. And this is why these properties are failing 100%. Nobody wants that out of their entertainment. I don't want to pick up a Star Trek comic and be lectured about they, them pronouns. I mean, God, how insufferable can you possibly be? And how arrogant must you be as a writer to really look down upon your audience like that and tell them that they're so dumb that they're being illogical with the way that they speak and think. Oh my gosh, it's terrible. But this is what we're going to come and is going to have more of as Heather Antos destroys this line of comics like she's done so many others. It's really sad that these companies keep hiring these people, but that's what we got. I actually pitched Heather a Star Trek concept, by the way. Heather was begging for pitches on Twitter. She's saying, nobody sends pitches at all. Like, they just complain. And so I sent her a nice pitch via email. She never responded to me. It would have been a great Star Trek comic. And guess what? It would have sold, too, because my audience loves comics, Heather. And I know you watch. Hello. What do you guys think about this? Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. It's so cringy. I don't even know what to say myself. Hit the like and subscribe button. And of course, make sure to sign up for Flying Sparks Ultralight Beam. This is going to be the difference in comics, guys. Check out the beautiful art on this. Like, wow. Oh my gosh. This is Elias Martin, who's on the book. He's doing a phenomenal job. I just got a new page in this morning. Chef's kiss. Love it. Sign up for it. It's in the description below. Appreciate you guys being there.